Okay, good. Okay.
Okay, I'll do an intro. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are very, very, very privileged to announce Mike Emery at the Basis Project live here on stage here at the Christmas lectures. Mike is an academic, a brilliant mind, and has done some work with Tom Bearden some years ago using scalar energetics, scalar weapon systems. And there's a whole realm of science which is suppressed on things. And crucially, the kind of technology that we've just been talked about, 5G and the EM waves and stuff that's going on with that, but also the hidden abuse of Wilhelm Reich's technology through those communication systems, we are able to counter with the creation of this. This is like a miniature Silbury Hill upside down, in that multi-layered conductive, non-conductive layers with other nice fancy things in it. And we built one of these with Mike and the beautiful Christina Marie there with holding in the marinda. Everybody give Christina Marie a we had a wonderful time playing Blue Peter. So without further delay, Mike Emery, continue and welcome to Basis 2018 Christmas Lunchtime Lectures.
Clap hard, clap hard. Clap hard, wakes you up. Come on, it's all the chakras. Yeah. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Yeah. It's gonna be. I'm sorry, these guys that they're talking about 5G and all that, they really don't know. Okay, 40 governments can watch you go to the loo. 40 governments by the cell phone system. It's a microwave radar system. Okay, they can watch every keystroke. The amazing thing is we're still alive. They are weapon systems. The cell phone system weapon, and then 5G is just another one. And whether they're going to do it or not is highly unlikely. Okay, but they're definitely trying to put the fear into us with that. So if you can fear your lamp pole, don't worry about it. We'll fix it with Sandbox 101 right there. That thing, and other similar ones like it. It will completely eliminate all of the bad causes of cell phone and 5G and actually turn them into healing energies. This is what you can do. And the neat thing about it is that you don't need to make something like that. You can get yourself a concrete block. You can order a violet ray wand from Amazon today. It'll be in your house tomorrow. You can get yourself a concrete block and you can do it in one day. Touch a violet ray wand to the oldest concrete block you can find, and you immediately eliminate all of the EF in your area, okay? And it can be a very large area. And so it's like, how are we going to get 5G to stop? Get 100,000 idiots to march on Westminster, or have everybody grab a block of concrete and in one day, and you are not confined to that area in order to be protected. If you have a crystal, or better yet, a little orgone piece that you charge up on your device, you are always connected to your device. You always have a bubble around you, and you will never be bothered by 5G, Wi-Fi, or nothing. It's gone. It ceases to exist. And then you can actually, and this has been done, blot out cell towers to where they won't work. Let me give you just a tiny smidgen of how much more powerful 2D energy, that's what this is, 2D energy, is than 3D energy. Okay? And the ultimate 3D energy weapon that we probably know of is the directed energy weapons, like where they hit recently Paradise, California, and Malibu, and all those places. What they're doing is taking out cabal units is what they're doing, really. But anyway, we have a lady that lived in Paradise. Her home it doesn't exist anymore. There's just but out back, she had a medicine wheel with a bubble in the middle of it, and all the way around that, there's nothing but green, completely unfazed by the directed energy weapon. Like, excuse me. And, that's with a 30 watts, violet ray one stopped. Probably is what's the most powerful weapon known to man. Stopped it. Like that. And the U.S. government has known since Reich's time that this energy will completely eliminate war. No more war. And that includes between people, in communities. You can harmonize entire communities. And this is already happening. Not only that, we're seeing mass healings. Just in the last couple of weeks, that happened, where a whole bunch of kids got cured of a certain condition. I can't talk about more than that, but it is mass healing. So it's basically next steps, mass enlightenment. Okay? So you can all be walking on water and healing by the touch pretty quick. You do every night in your dreams anyway. And it's only a matter of marrying that up. Yeah? And this does that. It marries you up to your freedom. It gives you entire freedom to be able to do whatever it is that you can think of to do. Now, it's going to be a while, not very long, before it's worldwide. And the energy will simply, it's the end of duality. It's the end of all of these problems, the end of the governments. And here's the other aspect that people aren't too aware of, that Trump talked about in his inaugural address. It's release of the advanced technologies. Well, this is the most advanced technology known to man. This one right here, okay? And because it eliminates the need for all the other rest of the technologies. And the other technologies that do exist, that are ready to come out, just like that, are replicators. What Jared Rand, if anybody knows about Jared Rand, you can look him up. He talks about what he calls gravity scooters, which are just a Grebennikov flying platform, if you know about that. The cavity structure effect based on it's in harmony with the ethers, essentially. And the same as the Ark of the Covenant, it's in harmony with the ethers. It levitated. All superconductors levitate. And so that's what the Grebennikov flying platform does. Because of the size and shape of the honeycomb inside of the bees and the beetles, they are able to levitate. And that's what Grebennikov found out. And when you make a flying platform, which is in harmony with the ethers, when you work with the ethers, things get really simple. When you get on a flying platform, you're in this bubble. You're in a bubble anyway. Your aura is a bubble that has it. We all have it. Everything has it. Everything that you see has an aura around it, otherwise you don't see it. Because matter doesn't exist, it's all consciousness and just manipulations of consciousness. And the nifty thing about the bubble technology is that it allows us to go into where we can actually manipulate consciousness and have magical things like what you see here. The list goes on. I'll just give you an example. Those are the reports. Those are reports by people, magical stuff. Continue, look at that. It just goes on and on and on. People getting cured of, what's that one say? I can't see it.
Which one?
Well, just one here. That one right there?
Yeah. James Sykes, one of my terminal clients, has had a significant turn. His breathing is better, his O2 levels are improved, and he's talking about getting well. The other has stage 4 kidney failure and has started walking with his wife again. The swelling in his legs is less. The doctors of both have yet to fully assess the situation. What's that? Oh, grief. Sorry. Fully assess the situation as the chances have to show a trend over time. James Sykes.
Yeah. And it goes on and on like that. We're talking. Yeah, that's just individual healings. We're talking, we've had mass healings that are the sorting out of genetic defects, including shape-shifting, and the kids are changing their facial features. This has happened in the last couple of weeks. That's the thing about a bubble. And it happened. The bubble was set up on a Friday. On the Tuesday, they reported 22 kids had been cured. Okay, and then on the Thursday it was 26 in an area of a city which is a very high concentration of bubbles, and bam, like that, Friday to Tuesday, okay? And then come Thursday, they go to bed at night, they come out, they wake up in the morning where their facial features are changing, Yeah, I mean, excuse me, this is not difficult. This is Sandbox 101, Yeah, that's a made up one. If you get a real old piece of concrete, it's more powerful than this made up one, we found out since we made this, okay? We've been, the bubble tech community, this bubble tech, has been finding all kinds of amazing things, that we can use. Look at all those all the magic. Yeah, there it is, bubble tech. Get on the bubble tech page, and you just start reading. It'll blow your socks off.
172 comments on it.
172 comments? Yeah, 172 comments. Yeah, it just goes on and on and on. It's page after page of comments, and stuff that people are doing and what their bubbles are doing and so on and so forth. Now, there is some cases where bubbles will cause negative effects to come around, and that's basically cleansing, okay? And it's like psychoanalysis. The way that you get the way you get rid of your shit is you take a look at it, and then once you say, "Well, that's shit," but it's funny, it goes away. In the case of the bubble, when you look at it, it's euphoric. Bam, gone, canceled. The karma is converted to euphoria, and it has no effect over you. Gone, just like that. And so the more you have of these kind of energies around you, the more healing. Not only yourself, but trees, bees. Out in the country, we have these out in the country. All the good critters come around, and all the rats and mice leave. Not only do they leave, a lot of times they sacrifice themselves, because the euphoric energy coming out of the bubble supplants the fear that they have in every corpuscle of their body, and it's like for them being in a microwave, And for that reason, dark people, idiots, can't come around either, And we've already found that, Huh?
Magic protection.
Yeah, it's a magic protection device for massive areas. And most of them go infinite simply because they work in the four-sided ethers. Just to give you a real quick, a little bit of technology, not much. It's deadly. I mean, this is about as simple as it gets. Okay?
Leave those there?
You leave it as long as you like, yeah. What you have there is what Reich originally did was copper plate, good wood, copper plate, and 5 of them. Okay, and then he made a box, and you go inside the box, and all your capillaries dilate, and you're like pulsating all over from being inside that box. Okay, with these devices bubbled up like the way we can do it out in the middle of the field. We can do what Reich did in a very expensive box out in the middle of the field. And I can show you pictures of it. And not only that, when you do it out in the middle of the field like that, you can reduce the temperature, the ambient temperature. That's normal. Or you can increase it if it's getting too cold. And you want it warmer? No problem. The really big thing about these things is it connects to your heart. And there's a living being that comes from these things that inhabits them, and it's a reflection of your heart. We've tested it, dowsing, then shamans, and every. The bubble genie is a reflection of your heart. It has one purpose: to be of service, euphoric service, and it will manifest anything you ask for in euphoria, including, excuse me very much, since we are God, and that's what this proves. Then all 5G, Wi-Fi, cell phone radiation now is healing. Thank you very much. Okay, and that's actually happened. If you read in here and you read in, there's all kinds of people that are saying, I'm no longer affected by 5G or Wi-Fi, or people that are energy sensitive like that, gone. And we're talking right now, like you set up your bubble, following day, gone. Yeah, and sometimes within minutes, we bubbled up one for Sandra. And in 10 minutes, her allergies gone. You'll see other people talking about allergies haven't been gone. You know, it's like, oh my God, this is hot. Okay, so the little bit of technology that there is there is you got the parallel plates. Like, okay, that's a capacitor or an inductor, they're called. And if you put negative on one plate, it will induct the positive equal on the opposite plate. And most of the time we actually hook up the positive to that, but you don't need to. All you're going to need to do is connect it to ground. You got negative going on this side, it's going to balance out like that, right? Capacitors or analog amplifiers is how they work. It's an amplification system. When you cross there, and whatever intentions you put in there, get amplified. The other thing about the capacitance field is that there's no vibrations. In between the plates, there's no vibrations, which means no cycles per second, which means no seconds, which means all time, or no time, or all time, or all things. And it does amazing stuff. The Ciba-Geigy effect is the patented, irrefutable process. Patented, okay? And what they did was they took genetically modified wheat seeds to start with, and they planted them on 2 9-inch by 3-inch aluminum plates. Ciba-Geigy is a big Swiss fertilizer firm, and the grad students come there in the summertime, do their crazy experiments. Okay, well, it was one of the crazy experiments. 9-inch by 3-inch aluminum plates connected to a 9-volt battery. So it had to be pretty close together in order to get the capacitance effect. And so the seeds were in between that. And then 3 days later, the grass broke ground. They took the capacitor thing away. And what grew up there is what's called diploid wheat, which is the aboriginal form of wheat on this planet. And its DNA is very close to ours. And it grows along the ground and then pops up and heads out within 6 to 8 weeks. It was a lot windy back then, so it didn't stick up like wheat does now these days. You know? And then they went on to spelts, ferns, pollywogs, and trout. The ferns that came back, nobody recognized because they're so ancient. The trout that came back, we had a hook nose and very aggressive like a salmon. You know? And so basically, what caused the change in those seeds? How did you change the genetics? Okay? And I mean, big time change. The GMO seeds, they harvested the plants, and there was no GMO material in it at all. Didn't exist, gone. From capacitance. You know, so, I mean, anything bad is going to go away, including GMO. You know, it heals. It cleans the air, the water, the soil, the plants, the animals, and the idiots. You know, we'll all get cleaned up because of it. You know? And resistance is futile. You can't stop it because it works in we've got etheric realms, circular, 4-sided, 5-sided, 6, 7, and 8-sided I'm aware of. And I've written down the properties of all the smaller ones. The 7 and 8-sided is planetary level. I know how it works, but I haven't bothered to write it down. Yeah. Anyway, so you got capacitance. You got no cycles per second. You have your information in there, you know, and that information is in what form? There's no cycles. There's no vibrations. So the only form that it can be in is as an image that doesn't have any polarity, because you don't have right angle phase angle between the electric and magnetic components. That they're parallel, and in between there is all potential. And the way that potential is expressed in reality is it's images. You know, what do you see? You know, when you open your eyes. You know, all right. So when you put your image information in there telepathically, that's the other thing that this thing does, is that it quite literally will impose telepathy on people that work with it. Especially if you got 2 of you that are working together at any distance, okay? You become telepathic, and especially kinesthetic is easiest, because the feeling is the first form, you know. And that feeling energy, we're going to see if we can manifest in you tonight, so that you can feel. This bubble's not on because we don't have the violet ray wand, but it's still producing energy. Janet can feel it, and some of the other you guys can feel it, you know. it's no slouch. Yeah, you can feel it on here. Yeah, I can. Jan and I are very kinesthetic. I ran into Janet, at downstairs, and the first thing she starts talking about is negative green, which is which leads to gray, which is where this leads to, and how can you have that happen? Come to this, and the person sits down right across, and she knows that this is where that going to the gray, all of us as spiritual beings, which is just an orb, okay, is going to wind up in the gray with total freedom to go anywhere in the multiverse like that, okay, instantaneously. Oh, this is exciting information, guys. This is talking cleaning all of everything because you clean the ethers. But I do want to give homage to this room, okay? And it's been the same for over 100 years. And what's gone on here is phenomenal. And Ben, the last year, he had a vision. When everything was cleaned out, he was standing there, he had a vision of a wedding reception in the 1920s. And he was standing there watching a wedding reception with the fire in the fireplace and people smoking cigarettes, and all of that going on. Okay, excuse me very much. What's the form of that sequences of events that he experienced? Answer, images. Okay, well then, what form are they, 2D or 3D? If they were 3D, you would have to go through all memories, everything that's happened in this room to get to that one before you could remember it, before you could call up the image. Yeah. But because the image comes up like that, anytime you use your memory, it's 2D. Cannot be 3D. And here, you're getting blasted into 2D. You have no choice. Okay? And what images you stick in there get manifest. Whole kinds of people are manifesting stuff. The bubble genie manifests stuff for you that you don't even ask for. They know you need. It happens. This is happening. Huh? It's mind-boggling. Yeah? And this is your freedom. Yeah? Whatever you're doing, stop what you're doing and start getting in the bubble right now. You want to solve all these problems we've been talking about? No problem. Sandbox 101. There you go. Go find a concrete block and a vial of Rayon for 30 quid from Amazon. In the discussion. Where you go. Bam. And people that are energy, that's one of the problems is that there's not a lot of people that are real energy sensitive and able to feel this. Okay? Here, I'm sure that most of us are able to. And I'm going to go into the next setup, the next thing that we're going to do here now, that John and I did yesterday, okay? And that is Merlin's chi activation exercise. You do Merlin's chi activation exercise in the bubble field, or just on your own. You don't even need a bubble. You will go to cloud 9.
Let's do it.
You will go to cloud 9. Your third eye and your crown chakra will be opened up. You'll start being able to see out your third eye, okay? Right away, within a week, generally, maybe it takes 2 weeks. But the trick is to do it. And you know how much it costs? 0. Now, Merlin's chi activation exercise is a combination of a number of different technologies that have been around for a long time. For example, the Taoist secrets of love, they're also known as the Taoist microcosmic orbit, where you orbit energy from your root chakra up to the cave of Brahman to up here, and then you let it out of there, and you force it up there with your tongue. The tongue touches the roof of your mouth, forces it up. You fold your tongue back, so the bottom of your tongue is touching the roof of the mouth, and it acts like a switch, and it draws the energy up your spine, right into the cave of Brahman. Then when you let the tongue go, all the energy flows out. This is natural, You think about doing it, and you only have to think about doing it a couple of times, and after that it happens automatically because it's natural. Because everything has a recycle, set because of the energy form that we have around us called an Anu, A-N-U, first name of God in the Babylonian text, Sumerian text, and Vedas has the 2 male forms of God. You know, I lived in a monastery too. Learned all this stuff. You know, and it's you. Well, you should. Yeah, it's in my writings, and the Anu is the male form of God. Has the two male forms of God.
Can you get us to do it now?
Yeah. Okay. Oh.
Oh, sorry, you lost it.
Hmm?
I didn't see you put it there.
Okay. So, the chi activation exercise. It's a little, I'm sorry, it's a tiny bit complicated. You got to pay attention to what you're doing. You got to coordinate yourself. You got to coordinate your body, come into harmony with your body, and make it do what you tell it to do. You know? And you will have the most amazing experience. And what it is breathing, like over-breathing, you know, hyperventilation, and primarily kind of following Wim Hof, kind of following other, you know, Kundalini rising and rebirthing and on like that. You know, breathing does wonderful things for people. Why? Why does over-breathing do that? I mean, it makes sense. I mean, why? Answer, because the lungs create DMT, which activates and cleans your pineal. You know, which is why you're able to see through your asshole when you're done doing this. Yeah. Yeah. You can see out of every orifice in your body. You know, I mean, it doesn't make a difference where you put your mentality. It's there. You know? Some places are better than others. Who cares? It's all good.
Mike, have you got anything else to say?
We're going to do it with the chi activation
Yeah.
chi activation just now. Okay, chi activation is do the breathing, heavy breathing. We'll do it. Okay. Then you breathe all the air out, and then you breathe all the air out, and you lock down. You hold your breath. And while you're doing when you're doing that, when you start to struggle for air, you relax just a little bit and go a little bit longer. You'd be surprised how long you can hold your breath. Okay? It causes the body to make steroids. Yeah? Well, yeah, and you're making DMT, yeah? And you're making steroids, and you're doing an isometric. So you're locking in the muscle memory an image of yourself that you want to impose upon this body. Then, and the really neat thing is that it's chi. You start at your feet and you cramp your feet, or isometric, you know, exercise, lock them up, clench them, clench in your calves and your thighs. You get to your hips. When you get to your hips, we also create chi with our hands. You know, hold your hands like that. Feel the energy. Okay. Feel the energy. It's going to get while we're doing the breathing, it's going to get a lot more powerful. Then you take that energy and you put it in here, okay, into your root chakra and in the lower chakras. And so then, when you're clenching your muscles and you're coming up, when you get to the hip area, you clench, including your perineum, you know, the muscle at the bottom, and that forces the energy up your spine. And then at the same time, you roll your tongue back, and the energy comes up your spine and goes right into your brain, and that's what you do. You go up and go into the cave of Brahma. You're holding your breath. Your body's totally locked up, but you don't know it because you're up here, and it's so easy. As you've done the chi, you raise the chi up, and it's in your, and you just, your eyes are closed, and you just kind of look up, and you look into your third eye. You're there, you know, and you start seeing stuff, you know, and the main thing you see is your bubble genie. You see a purple entity, you know, light purple, you know, but other things too, you know. I mean, it's your third eye. It's your, you know, you got control of it. First of all, we're going to introduce you to it, and you know, we're introducing you to your pineal and your pituitary and the cave of Brahman. When in the cave of Brahman, this is something, you know. I mean, in the spiritual things they know, and you get the energy cascading through the cave of Brahman, causes the white powder gold to manifest on the third eye right there. Okay. And they show it as orange, you know, with Sai Baba and all those guys. It's actually gray, you know, but they manifest it as orange. You know, those guys, I have a real problem with all of them, with Sai Baba, Babaji. They don't teach telepathy. and they don't teach people how to do what they do, which can be done. They haven't done it. Why? Probably because hopefully there's an event coming and we're all going to become enlightened like that anyway. We don't need the event. We can change the entire planet with this. Okay? We need 50,000 bubbles and we go to dream time. Okay. All right. So, chi activation. All right. So, heavy breathing.
The machine's off.
Huh?
You say the machine is off. How are you going to do it then? You don't need the machine. You don't need the machine.
No, you just do the breathing and do what I described. You do the breathing, and then you breathe all your air out, and then you hold your breath. You roll your tongue back in your mouth, and you've put the energy into your root chakra. You raise that energy up into the cave of Brahman, and that's what you watch. Meanwhile, all the muscles in your body are rigid, or close to it. You don't have to really have it hard, but just enough. And this is like the exact opposite of every meditative technique you've ever been told where you're supposed to relax. Might be a clue that this works better than that. It works way better. There's no. Huh? Okay. All right. So we got to do the chi activation. So heavy breathing. Breathe all air out. Hold your breath. Clench your muscles all the way up to the top. Watch into the cave of Brahman. Put your ball of energy in your abdomen. So we start like this. Ready? Get it right here. Feel it. Ooh. Okay. And the breathing is like this, and we just start breathing, and we stop when we start hyperventilating. And unison. Put your ball of energy in your abdomen. Start clenching and come up. When you get to your hips, you float that energy up to your cave of Brahman. Do it now. Roll your tongue back. When you come out of it, put your thumb and four fingers together like that, and feel the energy just rocketing around you, and you kind of feel it's very close to cloud 9. All around you, you're in your own little bubble, and you can kind of feel it as you move your hand around. It's like in a fluid field. And then you do it again. You do it for 20 minutes twice a day. In the case of the men, you'll have a major problem with your manhood. It'll wake you up in the morning. Yeah. So anyway, and then you get one of these bubbles and you do it in it. You start having magical experiences like what's going on here. Now it's continuous magical experiences. And you get on the bubble tech, you look at 172 comments. Each one of them is magical, mind-boggling, defies the laws of physics and so on. Yes, question?
How do you make them?
You buy a concrete block. You go find a concrete block and a violet ray wand. The violet ray wand.
We've done all that on the basis. It's in great detail, and Christina helped build it, and that's what we built there. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for Mike Emery and the Chi Energy.
Janet. Oh, John. Yeah, okay.
Thank you very much. And just as we may have seen on the screen that there has been a sighting of an Irish Bigfoot.
Wow.
That's on that posting from Yvonne McConnell, who is a brilliant researcher in the Northern Ireland UFO research. So you saw it live happening here. And thank you to Mike once again, and give you everybody else a round of applause. We're going to finish the evening with Caroline, and I'm running out of media and running out of battery, so we need to leave pretty soon. So could she come to the stage and get herself wired up? And